Have you ever noticed how many fears you have of making the changes you know you got to make in order to stop binge eating, stop emotional eating, lose weight, and keep it off? Welcome back to the JoLynn Braley Show. This is my very special gift to you, the 12 days of weight loss, and we are moving on now to day number 8 of the 12 days of weight loss. Hello. This is JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the Inner Self Diet, the diet that is not actually a diet unless you count the fact that the Inner Self Diet is the mental diet that you desperately need. The Inner Self Diet is the emotional diet that you desperately need. And the Inner Self Diet is the diet that actually works, which is what you desperately need. If you want to create a healthy relationship with food, lose weight, and keep it off. If you want to stop binge eating, stop emotional eating, stop yo-yo dieting, get the right mindset, which is 92.8% of the challenge, then the Inner Self Diet is what you desperately need. And this is the JoLynn Braley Show. We are on day 8 of the 12 days of weight loss. This is my special gift to you that I am gifting to you this holiday season. However, if you are listening to my voice right now and it is the middle of May, the 12 days of weight loss will still help you, okay? Because here's the truth. Your food and weight problems are not because of the holiday season. I gotta break it to you. You've got a year-long problem, and if you're very honest with yourself and you get real with yourself, you know that this is the truth. This is a problem that you have been struggling with since you were a kid or a teenager. It's been going on for how many years? 10, 20, 30, 40 or more years. You might have had little spurts of success here and there, but you always have ended up backsliding into old habits. And the reason that this has been your pattern is because you haven't gotten the right tools and you haven't gotten the right mindset and you haven't healed the root of the real problem. And what the mainstream diet industry brainwashes you to think is that the problem is the food and the problem is the fat on your body. The fat on your body is a symptom. The food is the mechanism, it's the coping mechanism that you use to try to cope with your day-to-day upsets and try to make it all better. The food is what you use instead of what another person, they're using alcohol or they're using drugs or they are gambling. Okay, or they're watching endless TV, or they're into porn, okay? Food is an addiction if you don't have a healthy relationship with it. If you feel anxious at just the thought of changing your eating habits, you might possibly have a food addiction. If you get angry or upset at the thought of cleaning the sugar out of your diet and going sugar-free, you might just have a food addiction. Hey, you're not the only one. Millions of people are struggling with out-of-control eating, food addiction, food obsession, food fears, scale fears, shame, body hate, self-hate, low self-esteem, low self-confidence, the inability to be normal with food. And it's a big problem. The fastest path to healing this problem once and for all is to get professional coaching. And I know that People could say, oh, well, you only recommend that, JoLynn, because you are a professional permanent weight loss coach and you've been coaching clients since 2009 to struggle-free weight loss in 8 weeks or less. And if you weren't a coach, you wouldn't say what you're saying. Well, yes, I would still say what I'm saying because there's no way to make the fast progress alone that you can make with the right coach. You cannot be objective alone. You can't see your own blind spots alone. And when you don't know what you don't know, how do you break free? Especially when you're stuck in insanity. What is insanity? Well, Einstein said it best. The definition of insanity is continuing to do the same thing over and over and over again while expecting different results. If you are listening to my voice right now during the holiday season and you've got a new year coming up and you're telling yourself you're going to make a New Year's resolution to lose weight, if that has not ever worked for you before to give you lasting results, a long-term ease of living a healthy lifestyle, if making a New Year's resolution has not healed your binge eating or ended your emotional eating or given you a healthy relationship with food and made it struggle-free for you to live a healthy lifestyle, then what tells you that it's going to be different this time? Okay? Hey, this is not a Get Real episode. This is day number 8 of the 12 days of weight loss, but maybe possibly you might need to get real with yourself about the state of your relationship with food, about the state of the relationship that you have with yourself and how you treat your body and how you feel in your body. All right? This is a big, 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 big problem, and the food is not the issue. Well, the food is 7.2% of the issue. It is part of the issue. You do have to clean up your eating habits in order to get healthy, get fit, and keep the weight off. This is common sense. However, many people don't use common sense anymore, and they believe the lies of these fake, funny, interesting diet things that say, oh, you don't even have to change your lifestyle. Just do this one little hack and you'll lose weight. It's just amazing. You can keep eating pizza, keep going to McDonald's, just keep doing exactly what you're doing now and you'll lose weight. Yeah. How does that work? How does that work when there is a bottom line biology of the human body and how the human body scientifically works? How do you get around that? In my experience, living in a human body, which I do have, and I'm speaking to you now, recording this podcast episode for you in a human body. That's how I have these vocal cords and have legs and feet, and I'm holding on to my little Benny Pomeranian right now on my lap, who is actually, he wants down. And so I have to put my microphone down for a minute to have both hands to put him down. Okay, so now little Benny is free. He is flying free. Not flying, of course, he's on the ground. But, I really enjoy doing this podcast. I have been broadcasting this podcast since the first week of January 2013. And the whole thing, I've done living in a human body, just like right now I have a human body. And what I was about to say a moment ago is that based on my experience, the best way and the easiest way to release excess fat from the body is to eat real food and to use portion control and to eat only when physically hungry, stop eating when physically full, get off of the crappy fake food, and just eat real food. And get regular exercise, that's part of it. but 80% of the physical side of things, okay, just the physical side of things, 80% of releasing fat from the body, it's about the diet. And then 20% is about the exercise. I've had coaching clients who had personal trainers and they worked out with them every day and they still didn't lose weight because they couldn't stop binge eating. So they came to me to heal their binge eating disorder. They were very smart to do that because you can't out-exercise bad eating habits. Now, this is just the physical side of things. Okay, so I'm just I'm just making the point and the clarification that you're not going to lose weight by meditating all day or by thinking positive thoughts or by thinking healthy while you continue to eat crappy food and eat when you're not hungry and use food to cope with life and, just tell yourself, oh yeah, I'm going to lose weight. It doesn't work like that. Now, the bigger picture is that the physical side of things, that's only 7.2% of the whole equation. 92.8% of the whole equation is your inner self. It's how you think. It's your beliefs. It's your negative, crappy self-talk. It is your fat fears, which is what we are going to delve into today on day 8 of the 12 days of weight loss. It's all about your fat fears. And your inner self is your emotional state, your inner self programming. Think of your brain as a computer and it's running software. And if you're running a fat software program, then your body has to be fat. You can only force yourself to do a healthy food diet for so long because the fat inner self programming has to be in control. This is why my coaching clients work with me in the inner self diet to heal what is 92.8% of the problem, which is all about what's going on in your inner world. If you don't fix that, you will forever struggle with the food and weight issue. Because even though there is the biology of the body, and even though you could get off of all fake food and clean out your system in 3 days by just eating real food, unprocessed food, food that is real, it's not fake. Real food is the food that in the grocery store, it's sold around the outside perimeter of the store. That's the food that will spoil if you don't cook it and use it. Fake food is all the stuff in the interior of the store that can sit on the shelf for months, sometimes years, and it won't go bad. With a couple of exceptions. One could be rice, whole rice, not quick rice, because quick rice is processed. Something has been done to it. Oats, oatmeal, whole oats, not quick oats, because quick oats are processed. So there's a couple things in the interior of the store that are beneficial when you're eating real food, because you've got to eat carbohydrates as part of a healthy lifestyle, but not the fake, crappy food carbohydrates that I'll tell you what, if I start eating that kind of stuff, I actually end up feeling sick. I rarely get sick anymore. But if I don't stick with eating real food, my healthy lifestyle, all of that fake stuff, I feel like I have the flu almost. It's really that bad. But you don't know how good it is on the other side when you've been feeling bad for so long. You don't know. You don't know. You think that how you live right now is normal. What if it's not? What if you could actually learn how to really, really like yourself? Not just love yourself, but like yourself. What if you could learn how to become your own best friend? What if you could change all of that unhealthy, horrible, negative self-talk? What if you could change your inner self programming so that you would want to live a healthy lifestyle, so that you would want the healthy chicken breast instead of the crappy fake food? How easy would it be to lose weight if you wanted the healthy food? If you wanted real fruit as your dessert instead of ice cream? How easy would it be then? Does this make sense even a little bit? This is why 92.8% of the solution, if you want to stop struggling with your weight, if you want to stop binge eating, if you want to stop emotional eating, if you want to lose weight and keep it off, 92.8% is the inner world, it's the inner self, it's the psychology, it's the emotional state, it's the emotional patterns, it's this whole inner world. And that's my specialty. That's the work that I do with my coaching clients in the inner self diet. So what about these fat fears, which is what we are looking at here on day 8 of the 12 days of weight loss? By the way, if you have hopped in here to day 8 of the 12 days of weight loss and you have not listened to the introduction to this very special series that I'm gifting to you this holiday season, if you have not completed the exercise pen on paper for day 1 and day 2 and day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, and day 7, then you're doing yourself a disservice right now by listening to me. I highly recommend that you go back to the introduction and you start there and opt in to get the worksheets for each of the days of the 12 days of weight loss. The worksheets include extra info, extra exercise, extra tips, and extra prompts to help you with the daily exercise. There are things that I'm including in the daily worksheets that I'm not talking about on these audio episodes here on the 12 days of weight loss. So if you want the bonus worksheets so that you can get the very, very, very most out of this entire series, and so if you want those, opt in at www.fearlessfatloss.com/12 days and get the most out of this completely free weight loss series that I'm gifting to you this holiday season. You will want to print out the worksheets and do the exercises pen on paper, because there is a connection that occurs between the head, the hand, and the heart when you write pen on paper. You do not get that connection if you type on a keyboard. You don't get any connection if all you do is listen to my voice and you just stay stuck up in your head where you're spinning and you're worrying and your fears and your negative thoughts are running constantly out of control. You've got to, if you actually want to make any kind of progress. If you don't want to make any kind of progress, then don't listen to anything I'm saying, and really don't even listen to the JoLynn Braley show. But if you want to make any kind of progress, get pen and paper, do these daily exercises pen on paper, get the worksheets with the extra info and the extra prompts, the extra material that I'm not talking about on these episodes, and print out those worksheets and do the daily exercises. So for today, the basic lesson for today on day 8 is to write pen on paper, write out all of your fat fears. Now, what is a fat fear? F-A-T, fear attracting thoughts. That's what drives you to be fat in body. Because you're definitely not stuffing yourself with food out of love and happiness and joy and freedom. All right? Your overeating is coming from the place of fear and very possibly shame. And it's a cycle that feeds itself. And the cycle will only be broken if you get the right tools and the right training and you heal what the root of the problem is. Now, what the root of the problem is for you, hey, are you working with me in the inner self diet? Because if you are, and if you are not clear what the root of your personal overeating challenges is, then ask me. I've probably already shared it with you because I share everything with you. I don't hold anything back with my awesome, super smart coaching clients in the inner self diet because I want you to succeed. So if you're working with me in the inner self diet, and if right now you are not clear about what the root of your personal struggles with food and weight is, then please ask me because I will be happy to share it with you. But as far as if you are listening to my voice right now and you're not in the inner self diet, you're not a coaching client, so we do not have two-way communication. We're not working together over the phone. I don't know you. I don't know what you're struggling with. I don't know what is going on with you. I have no idea because I'm just recording this podcast here in my home office recording studio. I have no idea who you are unless you're a client in the inner self diet. Then I don't know. I don't know what is at the root of your food and weight struggles. And if you don't know what it is either, don't beat yourself up because these things start and then they get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I've never known anybody that this problem didn't start when they were really young. So depending on your age now, if you've been dealing with this for 40 years, or 50 years or 30 years, more than likely you don't know exactly what started it. Or you might think that you do know. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know who you are. For all I know, you could be a cute little fluffy puppy that is rolling around on the floor and kicking your little legs up and your little paws up in the air, listening to me talk. And you don't even speak my language and you don't have an overeating problem. That's as much as I know about you. Unless you're one of my coaching clients. But then even if you're one of my coaching clients, you have to tell me, hey, I was listening to day 8 of the 12 days of weight loss, and I'm not totally clear what the root of my food and weight struggles is. Can you give me your feedback on that, JoLynn? What have you observed from everything that I've shared with you and all the steps I've taken so far in the inner self diet? What do you see is the biggest root of my overeating? Okay, so let me know if you're not clear, if you are in the inner self diet. So besides that, your exercise is to write pen on paper a list of all of your fat fears. These are all of your fears that are standing in your way of doing whatever you need to do to lose weight and keep it off. Now, there's some fears that the general population share as food addicts. A general fear is the fear of change and the fear of, quote unquote, giving up your food. Well, if you want to stay committed to your food, then get committed to the results because you can't have it both ways. If you're more committed to the instant gratification of the food that you choose to eat and the food that you know is stopping you from losing weight, then that's your choice. And I invite you to take full personal responsibility for your choice to continue to eat what you're eating and drop all of your excuses. Stop blaming anybody else. Don't blame your coworkers who want to order Chinese food every day and then you choose to get it also and eat it. And you know that it's not helping you get to your goal weight. That's your choice. Cool. It's your life. It's your body. But then don't complain that you're not losing weight. So you have to if you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. You could just keep doing what you're doing. But if you ever want to make any kind of real progress with getting to your goal weight and staying there and enjoying the process, having a struggle-free time, losing weight and keeping it off, what does struggle-free mean? Struggle-free means that you don't sabotage yourself and you don't get in your own way. Struggle-free does not mean that you don't make an effort and you don't do things, because there is effort involved in living a healthy lifestyle. And there's also effort involved in living a crappy, unhealthy, overweight lifestyle. But it's easier to live the crappy, unhealthy, overweight lifestyle because when you've done that more and longer than you've done something else, it's just going to be easier to do it. And when you have a whole bunch of fears that you're hanging on to that are stopping you from making the changes that you need to make, that's another layer of this problem. So fears, fear of change, fear of what other people may or may not think if you get fit and healthy, fear of what somebody might think because maybe they know you well and you failed over and over and over again in the past with weight loss. Whatever your fears are. Now, in the worksheet, I'm going to give you extra prompts to help you with this. But right now, I'm just giving you the overall view. It is important that you listen to each of these days of the 12 days of weight loss. But then after you listen, go to the worksheet and read that, and then read my extra prompts and exercises that I might give you each day, and then print the worksheet out and complete each exercise, pen on paper. Your fat fears, they will continue to stand in your way unless you let them go. You can't let them go, though, if you don't bring them to light. So one of the purposes, in fact, the major purpose of making this list right now is to bring them to light, because you can't change what you're not aware of. And it's easier to just keep them spinning in your head, keep them in your unconscious, keep them running in your thought patterns by knee-jerk reaction because you've had these fears for so long. Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of haters. You know, there's a lot of people who are pretty miserable and they don't want you to succeed because they're so miserable. But if you allow a fear of that to hold you back, how will you ever get to where you want to go? Your desire for what you want and your decision that you are worthy of the effort and the focus and the commitment to follow through, everything is going to hinge on you, which everything already hinges on you anyway. The only reason that you have the results that you have right now is because of your past choices and your past decisions. If you want something new in your future, you have to make new decisions and new choices now. You have to come out of your comfort zone to get what you don't have. Because what you have right now, it's in your comfort zone. This is one of the big, huge stumbling blocks that stops people from getting the coaching that they deeply, deeply, deeply need in order to break free of their food and weight struggles. They keep telling themselves they can do it all on their own. But what's really happening is they are so afraid of leaving their comfort zone, and they're so afraid of their fat fears that they just stay where they are. And they keep telling themselves they'll start again on Monday. And then another year goes by, and they end up in another holiday season telling themselves that they'll make another New Year's resolution. And they're still, it goes on forever. It goes on forever. It's like that, isn't it a Greek, it's part of Greek mythology of the man who is in hell, and he pushes a boulder up a hill, and the boulder always rolls back down, and there's no end to it. How is it any different than continuing to tell yourself over and over and over, oh yeah, all I need is another food diet. Oh, I'll just start again on Monday. Oh, I'll get back to it Monday. Oh, I'll make a New Year's resolution. Oh yeah, I can do this all on my own. Oh, I should be able to do this all on my own. Oh, I don't want anybody. I can't ask for help. The smart people get help. The smart people break free. The smart people know that they deserve better and that it's a frickin' waste of time to keep struggling all on your own. If you want to end your food and weight struggles in 8 weeks or less, go now to www.discovery-session.com. Let's find out if it would be a good mutual fit for me to coach you to struggle-free weight loss in 8 weeks or less. This is only for you if you are super smart, you're successful professionally, which proves that this problem is not about intelligence. This problem is not about intelligence. If you could have analyzed your way out of your overeating and overweight problems, you would have done it 10, 20, 30 years ago. Don't you agree? Of course, you would have. If you are excited to change, if you know that you deserve better, if you are a cool person, then I invite you to apply at www.discovery-session.com. I would be very happy to speak with you because I really like people who have a good attitude. And you might have obviously you do have negativity about the food and weight topic. Otherwise, you wouldn't be struggling. But besides that, if you have a good heart, if you know that there must be hope for you, if hearing me speak gives you even a little bit of hope that maybe, possibly, there is an answer for you, then apply. Apply at www.discovery-session.com. You know, all of my coaching clients, they're super smart. They're successful professionally. They already know what they need to be doing to lose weight. The physical side of things, the common sense, healthy eating and healthy exercise. They know these things, but they're not able to get themselves to do it. They keep sabotaging themselves and they don't know why. Tomorrow, we are going to delve into day 9 of the 12 days of weight loss. Before you go on to that, though, make sure that you make your list of all of your fat fears. Remember, fat, F-A-T, fear-attracting thoughts. So these are all of the fears that are standing in your way of changing your eating habits, ending your binge eating, ending your emotional eating, even fears of getting coaching, getting help to break free very quickly, fears of success, fears of failure. And in the worksheet, I'll give you more details so that this will be even more powerful for you to complete this exercise. If you don't already have the worksheets, if you're not opted in for that, if you're not on that email list, then you can get on that list at www.fearlessfatloss.com. I am JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the Inner Self Diet, the diet that actually works, as long as, of course, you do it. You can't just listen to me talk You can't just listen to me talk about the amazing results that my clients have gotten, like Holly, who I coached back in 2011, who had been out of control with binge eating for over 30 years. She followed my steps. She stopped binge eating. She dropped the 20 pounds that she was carrying, and she didn't look back. Those are the kind of results that my coaching clients get. When I say that the Inner Self Diet works, you of course have to do the steps. It probably sounds silly to most people that I even have to say that. But I got to clarify it because there's so many people who are looking for weight loss magic. Guess what? You got a human body. You're going to have to make changes. The only magic is going to be found in your mindset, because when you heal what is 92.8% of the problem, then you'll actually want to live a healthy lifestyle. And then when you want to do that, what's the big deal? There is no big deal then. Does that make sense? I wish you your best life living inside of your ideal body.